Imagine waking up tomorrow and every dollar you have just vanishes. Your bank account is gone. That credit card debt you've been stressing about? Well, it doesn't exist anymore either. Not just for you, for everyone on Earth. Would life finally feel free? Or would everything quietly fall apart? One night, after another day of ignored calls, unpaid bills, and loan threats piling up in his inbox, a small ring rolls out of the shadows toward him as he whispers a wish into the dark. I wish money never existed. The ring glows once and vanishes. Every currency balance rewinds to nothing. Every bank record loses its meaning. Money doesn't crash, it stops existing. Past, present, and future. Stay till the end to see why deleting money doesn't just erase debt. It erases the one invisible language that lets 8 billion strangers work together. And why, without it, the modern world collapses in less than a lifetime. Because his wish doesn't just fix his problems, it breaks the only system keeping everyone else alive. And ask yourself, would you wish for it? He wakes up to silence. No bank alerts, no payment reminders, no account overdrawn messages. His banking app loads to nothing. No numbers, no balance, no error message, just empty. His cards don't work. But the bill collectors do not call either. For a moment, it feels like he just escaped a life sentence. No money, no debt, no more chasing numbers. Out on the street, things look strangely normal until he steps into a grocery store. There are no checkout lines, no beeping scanners, no one arguing about prices. People just take things: bread, canned food, bottled water. Some share with others. Some fill entire carts and walk out. No one stops them. No one knows how. For one day, it feels like everything is free. Until he realizes nothing is being replaced. But it gets worse. Getting back to his apartment, the power is out suddenly. The electricity companies have no reason to keep the lights on. They aren't being paid after all. The water plants that clean his water would also stop working too. Now he's got no water and no electricity because why would the workers even bother showing up to work? Cities start going dark. Hospitals lose power. His refrigerator shuts off and everything inside begins to rot. His phone and social media die next because nobody is maintaining the towers anymore. Nobody cares. He wonders, humans lived without money once. Can't we just go back? Yes, humans did live without money, but their world was nothing like his. Back then, people lived in tiny groups, maybe 50, maybe 150 at most. Everyone knew everyone. The farmer would give grain to the person who made tools. The toolmaker shaped knives and spears for the hunter. The hunter shared meat with the group. The gatherer shared fruit. No apps, no contracts, just faces and favors. If someone stopped helping, the group noticed. If someone took and never gave, they weren't fined. They were pushed out. In a world of 50 people, you can see who's selfish and who's carrying more than their share. In a world of 8 billion strangers scattered across a planet, you can't even see who grew your breakfast. His wish didn't turn Earth into a tribe. It turned a global machine into a campfire with no room for everyone. Online, people start saying, "We'll just trade things. We don't need money." So he tries. He goes to a mechanic and offers to help however he can in exchange for fixing his car. The mechanic shakes his head. "I don't need help," he says. "I need medicine for my son." No trade. A doctor needs a vehicle, but the dealer doesn't need surgery. A teacher needs food, but the grocer doesn't need lessons. Every trade now requires a perfect match. You must have exactly what I want, and I must want it exactly when you offer. That's hard enough with 10 people. With millions? It's like trying to solve a puzzle where every piece insists on being special. Barter sounds simple, but in a complex world, it's like trying to run the internet with handwritten letters. He wished money away to make life simple, and instead made every transaction almost impossible. But a world without money must have some good parts, right? With no balances to check and no numbers to compare, that invisible wall between rich and poor fades. He sees neighbors who never spoke sharing food in the hallway. Someone with extra rice gives it to a family with extra blankets. People cook together, fix things together, watch each other's kids. Nobody flexes a brand new car. Nobody posts about their net worth. There is nothing to count. People might pick jobs they love instead of jobs they have to do to pay the bills. In small pockets, it's passion over money. A musician plays every evening for the entire street. A retired engineer teaches kids how engines work just because he loves it. Artists could make art all day. Scientists could study whatever they think is important. And everyone's creativity could go wild when they're not stuck doing work they hate to survive. He could just sit in his gaming chair all day, though that probably won't work out because he has no electricity in his apartment. For the first time in years, he falls asleep without thinking about bills at all. Money can't keep him up at night if money never existed. A world without money works only when everything is local. But his world runs on food, power, medicine, and labor coming from far away. A week later, the cracks become impossible to ignore. Trash piles up on curbs. No trucks come to collect it. The people who used to clean the streets once stood knee-deep in sewers so their families could eat. Now, thank you doesn't feed their children. Down the block, a small clinic is open, but not for long. Doctors and nurses stay at first because they care. Some stay, longer than anyone expects. But even care has limits. It doesn't fix broken roofs. It doesn't stop people from banging on their doors at night, begging for help. Slowly, the night shifts disappear. Then the day shifts. He passes the hospital one evening and sees something he never imagined. Every window dark, no humming machines, no ambulance lights. Just a silent building full of people waiting for help that isn't coming. He didn't just delete money. He deleted the reason millions of people showed up for the hardest work on Earth. Then the second wave hits, the invisible one. His phone dies, and this time, no one fixes the tower. No one climbs freezing masts in the rain for reputation points. The internet breaks in slow motion. Some servers shut down, then more, then the ones that kept the others alive. Planes sit on runways, waiting for parts that never leave warehouses. Cars break down and stay broken. Factories go quiet as soon as the last spare piece is used. He looks at his dead phone and realizes this was never just a gadget. It was the final handshake of thousands of people he would never meet. Miners pulling metals from the ground, designers in cold offices, technicians in loud factories, engineers in crowded cities, all agreeing, without speaking, to trade their time and skill for enough to live on. Without that trade, anything more advanced than a bicycle dies with the last person who remembers how to build it. In one wish, he didn't just erase numbers. He erased the glue holding 3 centuries of progress together. Some people celebrate. No money, no theft, they say. What's left to steal? They find out quickly. People still fight, just over different prizes. Water, grain, shelter, without salaries. Police forces thin out. Courts close their doors. Law becomes something you remember from before. Strong groups form, some for protection, some for control. A truck of food doesn't belong to a supermarket anymore. It belongs to whoever gets to it first with enough people and enough weapons. History has seen this movie before. Every time a system breaks in war or disaster, he watches as people in his building form little alliances, block stairwells, guard doors. He wished to delete the stress of paying for things. He never thought about what happens when nothing is keeping people polite. His wish didn't remove greed. It just removed the peaceful way we used to argue with it. In the chaos, he notices something strange. In one neighborhood, people start tracking favors. Help repair a roof, get a token. Share food, earn 2 tokens. Later, you can trade those tokens for help when you need something. They don't call it money. They call it credit, trust, reputation. In another area, people use shiny shells. Elsewhere, small bars of metal. In some places, bags of grain. "We're not bringing money back," they say. "We're just using this to keep things fair." But that is money, a portable memory of who did what for whom. Different symbols, same idea. He realizes something nobody wanted to admit. You can't keep millions of people working on shared projects without some way to store and trade value. Humans hadn't just invented money once, they had invented it again and again in different forms, trading physical things like gold, silver, or bags of grain. In the end, they start inventing money all over again, just with extra steps. He wished money out of existence and watched humans rebuild it out of shells, metal, and anything else they could hold. One evening, he stands on a balcony in a city he barely recognizes. Fires burn in the distance. No one is being paid to put them out. Down the street, people argue over the last shelf of food in a half-empty store. He watches the world trying to keep going without the one thing it quietly relied on. In some neighborhoods, people trade favors, food, and skills face to face. What about shy people who don't network well but work hard at their jobs? They'd end up with nothing even though they're helping out. In others, the strongest groups decide who gets what and who doesn't. His wish did erase his debt. It also erased the modern world that once held all of this together. He wanted freedom from money, and now he has to live in the world where it never existed. This is life in a world without money. Would you wish for it? Somewhere far away, the ring feels another wish forming. It rolls out of the shadows and stops at the feet of a man standing alone beneath a vast night sky. He looks up at the stars, at a world that already feels too crowded. His voice barely rises above a whisper. "I wish I could be the first human on Earth." The ring glows once and disappears,